Welcome to another Motivation Monday video. And for today's video, I will be talking about 5 things that I learned from my mission trip. So, dun sa mga previous videos ko, I said that sa Pampanga yung mission trip namin. But then, last minute, we changed our mission trip to Batangas because, because of the recent eruption of the Taal Volcano. We thought na it would be more relevant to, or Batangas is they're more in need of our help. So we moved our mission trip there, and instead of the mission trip being Friday to Sunday, naging Saturday, Sunday na lang siya. So, I want to share with you guys 5 things that I learned through that trip. And first is to be aware and grateful for the little things. Our first night there, overnight lang. So, isang night lang naman talaga kami dun. That Saturday night, we went to Mass ng 6 p.m. And that was actually the first time that I went to Mass with CYA. And when I was at Mass, I just felt this sense of happiness. I was really happy and I felt really at home with them. Considering that I'm not super active in that org and I'm not really that close with them. And I really considered it as one little thing to be grateful for. And another thing is also because our task basically, since we got there, what we did was we had to repack the donations and all that. So, since we were a lot, we got to finish quite early. So, we had time to play and bond with each other. So we were in the room, we were playing heads up, we played card games and all. And this was actually before Mass. We had free time, so we got to do those things. And it is really nice how, even though I'm not always with them, I still get to feel comfortable and at home whenever I do join them. And it just really made me happy, and it made me realize, or it reminded me that I should be thankful for the little things. As simple as being allowed to go to that mission trip, or being able to go to that mission trip. It's already a little thing to be grateful for. So, that's why my first lesson is learn to recognize, be aware for the little things, and be thankful for it. Second is, problems should not hinder your happiness. And I saw that when we went to the evacuation sites. So basically, in the Batangas Mission Trip, we went to 3 evacuation sites. Actually, we had 3 evacuation sites, but then the sisters, we only went to 2 evacuation sites. And then for the 3rd evacuation site, yung boys lang or yung brothers ang pumunta doon because there were only 7 families in the last evacuation site na dapat pupuntahan namin. So since konti lang silang families doon, yung brothers na lang pumunta. Tapos kaming sisters, we went back to the mission house. So there. And in the first evacuation site, timing lang kasi when we got there, there's this group of people na they would go around to different evacuation sites and have a program for the kids para lang mapasaya sila, ganon. And when we got to that evacuation site, we saw the kids who were dancing and parang may party talaga. So it was so nice to see those kids who has been through something very traumatizing, and yet they were still able to be happy. And like seeing their parents at the back who were also watching them, and seeing those smile on their faces, and I was so moved and I was really inspired because I'm like, sila nga like sobrang lala ng pinagdaanan nila, but there they are still managing to smile, to laugh, and to enjoy kung nasan sila ngayon, even if it's not in their own homes. Like, they were able to enjoy and they were still able to be happy na at least safe sila. And one thing rin is, since I said in one of my previous videos that I'm going through something really tough, or like I'm not really in a good state, that really moved me when the realization came to me, because I was like, sila nga mas malala yung nawala sa kanila, tapos ako, my being burnt, like my burnout, it was already kind of like consuming me, when sila nga, their experience was pretty much more traumatizing than what I was going through, and they still managed to actually be happy. So like, I was really inspired as well to like find a reason to still smile and be happy no matter what I'm going through. Kasi if sila nagawa nila yan, paano pa kaya ako na I still have my home, I'm still here at home, I still have what I'm used to, what I'm comfortable with, and sila nga, they're somewhere else away from their home just for them to be safe. So I was really inspired and I was really moved to always look at the brighter side of things. And that's a really good reminder. Sometimes we just really need to be reminded that there's always something good in each situation. So there. For the third one naman, what I noted was, it pays to be hopeful, or stay hopeful, and be a sign of hope or give hope. So those families in the evacuation site, I think one reason why they managed to still be happy, I didn't just see this in the first evacuation site, but I saw it in even the second one that we went to, because they remain hopeful, and I'm just very happy that I was able to like give them hope as well and be a sign of hope to them, since we were able to really personally distribute the goods and interact with the families. And what really moved me also, I kind of got I was a bit emotional. Like, I got really teary-eyed when in the second evacuation site, when I helped the family. I was helping families like bring the goods, kasi medyo madami yung binigay namin per family, so we would help them bring it to their their spot. So when I helped this one family, when I went, kasi they stay in schools, right? So when I went in, it was a hall, and then madaming families doon. And then may nakita akong parang I saw two kids, sobrang bata pa, like I don't know, like siguro they're like 5 or 7 years old, or I don't know, basta bata pa talaga sila. Actually, I don't really remember it clearly, but parang mattress. I don't even know if it was a mattress or parang ano lang, a piece of cloth na they were like sleeping on. Parang dun silang tutulog, and then like I teared up kasi I'm like, ang bata pa nila, tapos they're going through something like this. Like, I really teared up when I saw that. And kasi we distributed the goods on our second day, nung Sunday. And I had this experience yung nung gabi, like when we're gonna go to sleep, because kaming sisters, lahat kami, we were all just in one room in the mission house. One room lang na may aircon. Tapos there was one bed. So 4 people, 4 small, yung mga petite na mga kasama ko, they stayed on the bed. And then kaming lahat, like, since we brought sleeping bags, the sleeping bags were all like put together, and then mga blankets rin, we placed it on top. So when I was going to sleep that night, sobrang nahihirapan na matulog kasi kahit may sleeping bag, kumot and stuff, like, matigas pa rin. As in, sobrang tigas ng ng nararamdaman ko. And I'm used pa naman to sleeping on my side. But then, when you sleep on the floor kasi, hindi mo talaga magagawa yun kasi masakit. So you really have to sleep na flat. So like, I really had a hard time sleeping that night. And when I was seeing those kids, I'm like, sila nga nagagawang matulog sa sahig for they don't know how long. And ako, isang gabi lang yon. So like, parang I got really emotional seeing kids like that. Kasi very traumatizing naman talaga for them. Especially at their age, yung pinagdaanan nila. So ayun, like, it's really helpful, and it really gives you a different feeling when you choose to stay and be hopeful. And it's also good when you yourself would become their sign of hope, or when you give hope to others. Next thing that I learned is to recognize God. Nung Sunday morning, before breakfast, kaming lahat, we went to a chapel and we had our morning prayers. And one thing that Kuya Jock, who was our mission trip head, said to recognize God and to see that this is God's work. Because it's easy to say that, oh, I did this, and I was the one who packed the relief goods, I was the one who distributed it and all that. But the truth is, it's really the work of God's hands. God allowed us to be able to go there to Batangas. He made sure that we would be safe. It's really God's work. And after reflecting on what we did, I realized how God really used the CYA members as instruments to share and spread His love and light to others. He used us as instruments to give hope to the affected families. So it really made me realize that even if we're the one who's like, physically we're the ones you see who's doing it, but in reality it's the work of God. It's because of Him we were able to go to Batangas. It's because of Him we were able to gather a lot of donations and put them together. And it's because of Him why everything was made possible. So I realized that it's important to always reflect on what you do, because that is how you're gonna see God in it and realize that it is really God who made you successful in doing what you want, because God uses every one of us to be instruments of love, faith, hope, and light. And the last thing is to pass it on. One thing Kuya Jock even said is, it doesn't stop here. Like, it doesn't stop in the mission trip. Like, it shouldn't just stop after the mission or during the mission trip. Like, after we should still like continue doing good works, and still continue to help, like even if it's just by giving donations or praying. But I think like the most helpful thing we can do while we're not physically there is to really offer prayers, and also continue just being a sign of hope to them. Like, it doesn't have to always be something direct. So it's just very important to pass it on, or in other words, like continue doing what you can to help those in need. And what Kuya Jock said during our dinner really struck me. He said, "It's not what you do in the mission trip, it's what the mission does to you."